Michael Hayden has been in the news lately after he called for Republican Senator Tuberville to be quote-unquote removed from the human race, a comment the senator condemned as a call for assassination. This wasn't the first partisan outburst from Hayden. He's also compared Trump supporters to the Taliban, called the Trump movement more dangerous than Al-Qaeda, and even said that unvaxxed MAGA supporters should be given a one-way ticket to Afghanistan. But who is Michael Hayden, and why should we care? Hayden is currently an advisor to NewsGuard, an organization that claims to offer non-partisan assessments on the trustworthiness of news outlets. More on them later. First, let's take a look at the man who wants Americans to disappear for their political beliefs. This is a former four-star general who was at the pinnacle of the US intelligence community. He served under 3 presidents, going from one top spy role to the next. He was director of the NSA under Clinton and Bush, at a time when its domestic surveillance of Americans went into overdrive. He was deputy director of national intelligence, again under Bush. And he was director of the CIA under Bush and Obama. Throughout this long career as a spy chief, Hayden was accused of brazenly lying to Congress and the American people about everything from the surveillance of Americans to torture programs in the war on terror. Before Hayden became a professional anti-MAGA pundit, the liberal media was happy to report on his long record of lies and half-truths. What's this former propaganda master doing now, you ask? He's on the board of advisors of NewsGuard. That's right, this ex-spook, who stands accused of lying to Congress and the American people for decades, is now working with an organization that claims to be an authority on truth and falsehood. It's actually not that surprising. NewsGuard's stated purpose is to blacklist certain media outlets, trying to discredit them and starve them of advertising revenue. The organizations they have focused on are overwhelmingly conservative and anti-establishment. The Global Disinformation Index, which was caught red-handed advising advertisers to financially throttle conservative websites, is another example. Organizations like NewsGuard play a key role in the vast industry that is now dedicated to social media censorship and financial blacklisting. By maintaining lists of disfavored news sources, they provide social media companies and advertisers with an easy roadmap telling them who to censor and who to promote. NewsGuard gives its stamp of approval to news outlets that repeatedly push gigantic falsehoods, like Russiagate and the P dossier, while downgrading the sources that question those narratives. And then there's Michael Hayden. Here's a guy who's been engaged in cover-ups and disinformation campaigns for his entire career, advising a company that claims to be in the truth business. He even promoted misinformation while he was a NewsGuard advisor. In 2020, he lent his name to an infamous open letter, falsely claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop story was quote-unquote Russian disinformation. The co-founder of NewsGuard, Stephen Brill, bought that lie. In the closing months of 2020, he went on national TV to claim, without evidence, that the Hunter Biden laptop story was a likely Russian hoax. This false claim spread throughout the mainstream media resulted in the censorship of one of the most significant election year stories, no doubt impacting the final result of the ballot box. The career of Michael Hayden is a reminder that the business of intelligence is inextricably tied to the business of propaganda and misinformation. And in the digital era, there's no better place to do that than with an organization that wants to tell you who you should trust.